Great ball. Oh.
Back pass!
Bottom corner, mate. Or...
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't hit the target.
Oh.
Come on, Rangers! Come on, Rangers!
Missed the whole game.
Northeast of Brighton, among the green fields of Lewes, lies the village of Ringmer. One of the largest villages in the United Kingdom, Ringmer has been inhabited by Britons since the days of the Roman Empire. And while the village may be ancient, the new home of Ringmer FC is anything but. A brand new £1 million facility is the new home of a club who used to play on a patch of mud surrounded by stinging nettles. And with a new man in charge of football operations, Ringmer FC are not only among the favourites to win the Mid-Sussex Prem, but they're also rather likely to head up through the football pyramid.
They obviously needed to build a facility for the community because then we had nothing left to play football. So they approached the school, and as far as I understand it, kind of said, look, if we make an arrangement, i.e. you give us this plot of land, but then you can use the 3G facility during school hours, so like 9 till 5 or whatever. It's a kind of win-win relationship, I think they built on it without having to pay anything to the school. And then they got a lot of funding from things like the Football Foundation to pay for things like the goals and stuff like that. And I guess once you've sort of done the hard work of getting that facility there, then it starts to pay for itself because we rent it out to, say, Chelsea development centres and Brighton and all the rest of it. So,
however, this is not a pro-Ringmer propaganda piece. We're here for business, and that business is football. 2 weeks have passed since Holland Sports kick-started their season with the demolition of Southwick. A hastily arranged friendly against Guildford United gave Berks another headache with a fresh injury to centre-back Harry Dalton. The friendly was otherwise notable for this Bergkamp-esque moment of magic from Guildford striker Adam Bicknell. And even though Luke Macca-McLean was able to level with an emphatic penalty, Bicknell got the winner when the stand-in Holland goalkeeper ran out of his area, missed the ball, and then gave up all hope of recovering the 6 yards he needed to run in order to get it back. Holland had a number of absences that evening, something that pervades the planning for the next fixture. With 4 first-team members missing, including striker Sam Cockrell and defenders Charlie Knight and Aaron Nolan, Berks and Mike must once again shuffle the pack.
I won't talk too long. I know some of you just keep getting ready, doing bits and bobs. Obviously, long journey and early start, so Macca's on his way. Team today, Cameron back in goal, Wardy in at right back, done well in the friendly the other day, Wardy. Joe Cav alongside Charlie, centre backs. Ollie in at left back. Mike and Steve. Steve with the armband today. Well done, Stevie. I think everyone I talk to just talks about your quality, Steve. Cameron's come down, first thing he says. Show it today in there, all right, mate? You've been a real leader. You don't need to be screaming, shouting. Don't change your game. Just get hold of it like you have been, because you've been class, mate. Marcin there. Great game for you today, Marcin in that pocket, getting on the ball, spraying it around. Joe a bit more central. Toddy on the left. And then Macca when he gets here on the right. Today, like we did last time, our personal battles all over the park in that 4-1 victory. We moved the ball. Training on Wednesday, we did keep ball for about half an hour, 40 minutes, and it was class, boys. We moved them around. We've got to pass the ball today. 1, 2, 3 short ones, and then we pivot out. Our fullbacks are key, working like pistons. But when we've got it, Murphs, Macca, Joe, Todd, free agents, you're creative. Murphs, I'd really love to see you trying to break through the lines. Todd and Macca, when he's here, don't stay on the fullback when we've got it, Todd. Come in that pocket. You're like a little bit of a spark for us because you get those spaces and you're hard to pick up. Joe Hill, don't be afraid to swap with these, Joe. Don't feel like you've got to stay central. Come and get it in the pockets. When we've got the ball, 1, 2, 3, 4, our match winners, you've got license to do what you want. Create space, get on the ball, and then we can get Murphs, Wardy, Ollie joining in. They won 3 from 3. They're a good outfit, but they haven't met anyone like us, boys. They haven't met anyone like us. We move the ball around, and all of that money in the bank, because they're working on a hot day when we've got the ball and we're patient, pays off in the second half. So trust each other, trust the ball, but let's make sure we have a bit of aggression today and we wake ourselves up in this warm-up, because I expect all of you to win your personal battles. Again, 5 lads angry on the bench, dying to get on. If you're starting, make sure you keep hold of it. Okay, boys? Yes. Well done. Let's get out on the balls then, lads, when you're ready. We've got Sam out, our striker, and has been our captain as well the last few games. I'm not sure what's wrong with him. It's quite worrying. He's in hospital. The lads don't know at the moment, so it's in the back of my mind that he's not here and he's struggling a little bit. I don't know if it's COVID related, but So he's not here. Aaron Nolan's a police officer. He's out arresting people. And Harry Dalton, who was brilliant against Southwick, is out. He hurt himself in our friendly against Guildford. So we've got a few out, a bit of a reshuffle. Gives Harry Ward at right back a chance to start, who's just a lovely bloke, worked his socks off all pre-season. And it gives Luke McLean, aka Macca, the fish, a chance to start as well, even though he's not here yet. A bit late.
Ringmer's changed quite a bit since we were last down here.
Just a bit, yeah. I mean, that last game we had, it was horrendous, wasn't it? It was around Christmas time. I think we had 11 with Charwood, and it was a bog, and we lost 1-0 or lost 2-1 maybe, I can't remember. To come to this amazing facility, so many clubs seem to be getting an injection of cash or support, and this is incredible. You know, you look around and you're just jealous and you admire what they've done here. It's a brilliant facility, doing it the right way, all very professional. Manager seems like a top bloke. Changing room, just little things like logos on the changing room. Just seem to be doing it the right way, and obviously they've got ambitions to go up. They've won 3 from 3. They're second in the league, undefeated, so it's a big challenge for us today.
Against such promising opposition, Barks and Mike are looking for an intensive warm-up, but they don't think they're seeing one.
I'll just start by saying key message. We start fast here, because I think some of that's lacklustre out there, to be honest with you. All right, yeah, the keep ball's nice, it's pretty, but this is a league game against a team that's 3 from 3. I've told you since day one, complete faith in you all. Complete belief in everyone in here. The people not starting, the people starting, the people that haven't made the squad. Absolute faith in the way we've played football and the way we demolished that team second half. Now, if you don't start fast and we don't get leaders out there, we might as well not have made this drive today. You're going to have to fight to play against this lot and win that ball back and press as a unit. Now, that keep ball wasn't good enough. I didn't hear enough leaders. I didn't see enough intensity. Shout, scream, get yourself going, start fast. And when we start and when we stretch and when we press, then we show our quality. For each other, big 3 points from the get-go. Come on! Get out there and get the ball moving. Shuffle right, Macca, cut it, Macca, right shoulder, Macca! No foul, no foul, no foul! Swing, Ramos!
The management duo are getting the reaction they demanded. Holland start energetically and immediately start probing for space in the home side's final third.
Toddy, work with Joe, Macca, come out!
But cracks are beginning to show. A sliced clearance leads to Ringmer winger Ben Earl launching himself into the air, and Ringmer are able to apply some early pressure. The defence holds firm, although the visitors are unable to find a way to break out. Holland are just now finding out that the hosts play a particularly attractive and effective brand of football.
Shuffle left, shuffle, no turn left, no turn, well done. Here you are, Wardy. He's going, Wardy, he's going, Wardy. Drop, Wardy. Well done, Joe. Hold, turn.
Barks' side contain Ringmer for now, but for how long can they repel such an organised team? And when a loose pass lets Murph and Joe combine, Holland have a chance to stun their opponents.
Joe, don't stop!
The spurned opportunity riles Ringmer, and their pass and move approach soon opens up the Holland defence.
Well done, Mike! Lino! Ref, he's off!
Ben Earl's pinpoint through ball picks out Marcin Ruda, and we're forced to introduce some new technology to figure out if Ruda was indeed onside.
When you
Oh,
see
he's
that
offside, Mike. He's about a yard stood there.
You wait, Ollie Wells, too deep.
But even with the advent of such technology, we're unable to confirm either way.
That is well off.
Ringmer are buzzing, and feel equipped to lay siege to the Holland goal. Ben Earl causes more problems and tees up Sam Bynes for another effort.
Keep going, keep working, boys!
Holland respond. When Charlie McCarthy slices Ringmer wide open, Luke McLean gets his first sight of goal.
Be direct, Macca! Direct!
The game is now wide open, and the hosts look to build from the back as they seek out a second goal. Ringmer's rotation in midfield creates oceans of space, and Holland are not wise to the movement. Marcin Ruda drives forwards, and Ben Earl appears on a left-sided overload. Holland have been opened up like a 24-hour Tesco Express. Although he may claim he earned the right to do it, we are not fans of the drinky celebration.
Macca, go play through the middle. Joe, hang out on this right-hand side. Swap with Macca.
A tactical switch gives Holland a chance to advance, with Macca eventually driving a shot at goal, only to hit his own player before reaching the target. As Holland regroup for an uphill struggle, the normally reliable Joe Cav and Steve Panay create a mess for themselves. Glenn Hunt devours his prey and Ringmer go 3 up.
Guys, have a jog, please, guys.
A clip over the top from centre-back Brad Duke creates yet another opportunity. Ton Stevenson spurns this one, but there's a sense that there's plenty more to come unless Holland can change the pace of the game. Todd Lucas, Joe Hill and Aaron Murphy attempt to do exactly that. With just over half an hour played, Marcin Ruda once again drives forwards, and this time he squares for Tom Stevenson to tap home. It's 4-0 to Ringmer. Barks does the only thing he has left to do. He switches to 3 at the back and prays.
Go in as a 3 here. Go in as a 3. Push Charlie central. Push Cav. Push him there. Get Todd. Get Ollie as a left wing back over that side.
The switch has an immediate effect, and Holland begin to find the space that seemed exclusive to Ringmer.
Joe, movement, Joe. Good ball, Mike.
Joe Hill surges forwards and is rewarded when his shot nestles in the bottom corner.
Boys can chuck him at water. Brilliant, Mike. Brilliant. Just keep it positive. Drag Hill with you, yeah? Murphy's getting his head down. I know, but what's that? Just keep positive with him, yeah? Because he gets his head down. I know, but drag Hill with you. You're leading out there by example.
On the stroke of half time, Murphy offers Holland a chance to close the gap further still.
Macca.
Harry Ward then shows the kind of desire Holland require if they're going to get out of this mess.
Inside!
Well, Harry, quality there, mate. Come on.
Right, boys, listen up. There's loads of voices going on about what we can do, what we should do, what we do. We've gone to play away, and we're just not playing that way. All right? It's really pretty simple. The last little bit there, we look all right. We're keeping the ball and so on. But let's be under no illusion, we're 4-1 down, and they've stepped off the pace a little bit. They're a well-drilled team. But individually, there's not one player on that team that I would say I want to play in this team. If anyone else disagrees with me, say so now. There's no one on that team that's better than anyone in this changing room. But they're well-drilled. We've got to pull together and we've got to stick to the systems that we're saying. And that goes for everyone. That's us on the bench, that's the people sitting on the bench, everything else. There's a lot of chat, there's a lot of, I think Joe's been getting different messages, go here, go there, blah, 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 whatever. Joe, all we need you to do, bit of movement up there, try and get in behind, shoot early. We've said that all the time, you'll score goals doing that, all right? This is now on us. We've done this to ourselves, all right?
It's felt flat. I'm borderline feeling embarrassed myself. I know you probably are yourselves because you've got your own personal standards. I mean, some of the errors, some of the movement, some of the lack of talking, lack of leaders, all the things we said about having leaders and pressing and all that stuff goes out the window when the sloppiness creeps in. So, you know, we're going 3-5-2. We're going for it. We did that the last 5 minutes. We didn't concede and we scored one. It's up to you guys here to kind of dig yourselves out of it, really, as a unit. You know, I'm sick of hearing that team's not very good or he's not very good. Do you know how cheap talk is? Oh, I was a great player when I talked about myself. I was the best in the business. We sit here and go, he's not great, they're not even that good, that lot. Well, they're beating us 4-1. We're kicking it out of play, we're not tracking, we're stood still looking at people. We worked so hard on Wednesday on keep ball and movement. That's all we did for about an hour. And then we get in the game and we stand there and we start screaming names. I want you to burn yourselves out in the next 10 minutes and then someone else can come on and take your place. That's the team. But for 10 minutes now, you play like you're coming off in 10 minutes and you play like it's your last 10 minutes and let's make something happen together. Come on, let's go. Come on, together. Well, working back. There you go, Con. Go on, have a bite.
If Holland are to get back into the game, it will be through sheer determination, as embodied by Conor McGuinness and Todd Lucas-Scott.
Brilliant, Todd. Brilliant, Todd.
Connor's shoulder barge on Charlie Conrath forces the winger to reconsider his gym workout routines. But Ringmer are still hungry for goals, and when Sam Struts plays in Ton Stevenson, they should make it 5. Fortunately, Cameron Rowe knows better than to get done by the cockiest chip since McCain's launched their Simply Gorgeous range. As if they hadn't had enough warning, Holland allow their opponents in yet again. Stevenson and Ruda make a mess of this one. Although we're not really showing it on account of it making for very boring television, the Ringmer players are slowing the game down as much as possible.
Got a head injury, play on. On your bike, Joe, on your bike!
It's not even out of play, boys.
It's not even out of
Shambles.
play. Listen, they're gonna slow this game down all the time. Go on then, scream for it. There you go.
Go on, Con.
Make the yards, make the yards.
We don't see anywhere near enough indirect free kicks given within a penalty area, so we couldn't wait to see what happened with this one.
Get the ball, lad! Bottom corner, mate. Or...
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't hit the target.
Oh my days.
It took humanity somewhere around 200,000 years to get there, but we have, finally, found the worst free kick in the history of mankind.
Get something back up.
Go on, Macca.
Nobody could have blamed Holland for packing up and going home after the free kick debacle, but they stuck around, if only to allow goalkeeper Joe Whiting the chance to banish the memory of his ricket against Charlwood.
Charlie, play! Joe, Cav, wide out, Todd, look to receive! Offside, Charlie, offside, back up.
Holland are in the ascendancy, so it's probably about time they gave another goal away. Substitute Sam Souter finishes off the move and immediately feels bad for clipping young Cameron Rowe's head. Now that they're 5-1 down, it's about time Holland Sports launched a comeback. Having fired an unstoppable penalty against Guildford United a few days earlier, Macca steps up to put Holland vaguely back into the game. With the comeback beginning to take shape, Holland just need to keep doing what they're doing and not do anything silly. Unlike his brother in the first game of the season, Mike Smith manages to get away with this one. You got lucky there, Mike.
Right, Mike.
Joe, movement!
He's pulling him, ref.
Ref, what about the first one?
Ah, Mike Smith. Mike Smith.
Fuck's sake.
Losing 5-2 and down to 10 men, Holland will surely collapse. Or will they? Presumably that's why you're watching, to find out.
Get in. Joe. What's the point? Joe, get the ball.
What's it called? Fuck me.
But if nothing else, this is a tale of good news, bad news, and immediately after the third, Macca goes down injured.
What a strike, Joe. 15 to go, 5-3. You never know, do you? Football's a funny old game, mate. You never know. Go on, Joe!
Holland tails her up, and with Joe and Todd Lucas together, there's a chance they might just get a fourth.
Time, Todd! Strike! Strike, Todd! Go on, Mitch, go on, Mitch!
Join in. Todd, deliver!
Great ball, great ball. Stay there, you stay there then, Todd. Let Tom do that.
Holland up the ante, but they're running out of time.
I don't think we were prepared today from the get-go, from the warm-up to the first half. Second half, we start to wake up, and they're not that much better than us once we get going. But I don't know what it is, boys. We turn up here, and it's like we're strolling round and you know, we're thinking it's going to be easy. These lads are dropping down Ryman Prem, Ryman levels. They're dropping down to play with their mates. They're not Mickey Mouse teams. It's intermediate football. We've gone from junior to intermediate football. Some of these lads train twice a week. These teams probably train twice a week, right? We only do once a week, and that's on me. We've got to start better all over. And we talk about leaders. Leaders isn't digging people out or moaning. Leaders is by our actions. Like I said, Steve does 9 times out of 10. And leadership's the way we communicate with each other. We've got to stand up and be counted. Some of us need to get fitter, which means, yes, that 1 hour session a week's not going to be enough. You're going to have to get out and run. You're going to have to get out and go to the gym. Some of us are going to think about our Friday nights and how we're looking after ourselves on a Friday. And we're all over going to have to realise, if we want to step up levels, we've got to get early nights, we've got to be organised, we've got to be focused in the week, because this feeling right now is fuel now. We're having a beer and a sausage roll in there, whatever they're putting on, because it's fuel for next Saturday. Have a shower, dust yourselves off, we have a beer, we stay together, we win, we lose, we hurt, we celebrate together, no one's storming off. Reflect on what you've done, what you could have done better, and then we go again next week, and I'll see you Wednesday, boys. But we have to use this today as fuel, and it has to be a little bit of a turning point for some of us. Okay, well done. All the kit in the bag, boys, please, the right way round. Oh, my emotional state, depressed. Yeah, I can't really say how I'm feeling right now. I feel really, really flat. I mean, I didn't know the answers today, to be honest with you, Phippen. I didn't, you know, you're looking at options and you're discussing everything, but
Really disappointed, bitterly disappointed. To be honest, let's not talk about us, let's talk about them. Great facility, well coached, good people, giving good information, here early, doing all the things that they want to do because they're going to push on as a club and move forward. And you know, if we want to aspire to go further, we've got to start acting like clubs that are in those high divisions. And from the moment we've worked up today, absolutely massive credit to this team. You know, I'm sure they're not where they want to be at the moment, but they pass the ball well. They're well coached, well drilled, well trained in a lovely facility, and everything they did today was professional, even on the sidelines. The coach is giving them good information, the bench is sitting there quietly, and they're all buying into the one philosophy. We've got to aspire to be beyond that if we're going to compete, if we're going to win this league.
I'm Dave Altendorf, I'm head of football at AFC Ringmer. I was brought in this season to, I guess, try to improve the performance of all of the teams and get it to match up to this magnificent facility that we've got. So
I think obviously Dave Altendorf, our manager's come in and been fully committed throughout pre-season along with Gibbo, and we've gone hard from beginning of June. So we've just been drilled in, we've got a philosophy and we're sticking by it, and I think we've had the same numbers throughout the whole of pre-season, and we're a proper solid unit, and just everything's just great. It's just fantastic about the club.
We had an ageing team with everyone sort of 35 years plus, including myself, and we recognised that it wasn't sustainable. If we wanted to sort of grow the football club and have a little bit more longevity, we needed to replace those old boys and put in young players. So, like for example, the left back Jacob Ashwood, who I thought was outstanding, he's a young player that's going to be receptive to information, he's going to listen to instructions, and he's going to want to carry those things out and learn and develop and improve, whereas people who of my peer groups, of my mates who were playing in the team last season, the season before, and probably the last decade, it's going to be harder for me to try to change that culture and that sort of pub mentality, as you put it. So I think Barks and Mike are doing the right thing. They're getting young players in, which isn't always easy. Sometimes you've just got to field 11 players, but I think they're going about it exactly the right way. I was speaking to Mike and Barks beforehand, both seem really switched on and dialed into sort of the long-term project, and I've got no doubt that Holland are going to go on to bigger and better things. I'm certain of that with those two at the helm.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a great bunch of lads. I mean, every Saturday morning there's a few of us that go to Lewis and go for a coffee, hence the celebration. The coffee club was what the celebration was about. I wasn't taking the mickey out of the other team at all. It was all about that.
I mean, there's a trade-off. You can't always be nice, so you want to win games of football. And one of the things I've been trying to instill into some of these guys, because as you point out, they're such nice people, is we do have to be a little bit more streetwise, a bit smarter, and play the game. And that's, you know, it's cynical, but it's fine, because in 90 minutes you can do those sorts of things and shake hands at the end of the game. And
You've got to smile and shake people's hands, and people say well played and pat you on the back and ruffle your hair like you know some little kid. We're here to win games of football, and that hurts, and that's going to hurt me tonight. That's going to hurt me until next Saturday. That's hurt my pride today. We need this result. There's so many things in the background happening. We need to be winning games of football to prove that what we're saying and trying to do is working.
Someone leading, everyone following. You know, the leader, the ship where the word even comes from, the etymology of the word leadership is about an ice-breaking ship that takes the lead and everyone follows. If you've got people talking about different things, and I give one example, Barks is giving some information, and people behind are giving different information to the left back. I mean, where are we going? And that's the difference between them, and you know, full respect to them for everything they did today. We've got lads, you know, that are sitting and getting on at them and trying to argue with them about time wasting and stuff like that, which is all part of the game. But they're a well-organised team, and we ain't at the moment, and that's what we're going to have to really try and sort out.
Thanks for watching our little show. We really appreciate it, and we didn't really expect to ever be in this position and have this many viewers. But if you don't mind, if you could hit like and subscribe and maybe make a comment, that will help us grow even more, which would blow our minds.